We are here still in Van, Turkey, but we're visiting what's called the Haldi Gate, an ancient gateway that's been carved out of sheer rock. Notice how sharp the edges are. Classic example of not Urartian, but lost era civilization technology. And this gate is very special because according to the folklore and the ancient traditions, Haldi is supposed to come through this gate into our realm of reality. At some point throughout history, there has been many stories and legends about that occurring, and sacred priests and other sages would come here and pray at this gateway for Haldi. And so what we're here, Paul, is we're in the realm of Haldi.
Not only that this is a story about the deep past, but it's an expectation. That's how alive Haldi was. It's amazing standing here and seeing this in its proper location, because we saw the facsimile at the museum.
Yeah, we saw it 2 days ago. We were at the museum and we saw the recreation of the doorway.
That was awe-inspiring just to see that. But what's interesting being here is I love the Van Museum and how they are honoring the history here.
Yes.
They know this is a really important site. We've arrived and there's no signage, there's no parking. I think the world is about to discover this, but there's no clue right now. So I feel very lucky and ahead of the game that we're standing here at the site, and we're going to get up close to it, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Now, I want to point out some other incredibly important things about this doorway. When we look around the ancient world, we see countless false doorways, from Amur in Peru all the way to Saudi Arabia, Madain Saleh, Petra, Jordan. Throughout the ancient world, of course, King Midas's tombs in Turkey. Right. And now what you have to really think about is, why would they go to these great lengths to create these unless there was a real energetic reason? Something tangible, not something just that's a myth of some, Haldi being maybe forces of nature that's not a real being. You wouldn't create a door like this unless there was an actual being, some kind of a celestial intelligence that would come through.
Or the expectation, you're building it with a purpose. And I wrote about this in my previous book, just to give it a plug, The Eden Conspiracy. I talk about the nous, which is something that's been discovered right across ancient Judea, across the Levant. It's exactly like this. Some are very small, some are very large. This one, the people have gone to great efforts to create. So the question is, why? What was the purpose? And where did that expectation of Haldi's return come from? And what does that mean?
Yes, and there's other things that we want to bring up, such as if we're looking at the lost era civilization here in Turkey being an origin point of not only megalithic designs around the world, but also these cave temples and these false doorways we see, again, throughout India, Saudi Arabia, other parts of the world. It really tells us, Paul, that this is just an extension of what started here that then passed around the world. And why that's so important is that it's showing us that not only do we have the megalithic building starting here, but we have this incredible cuts out of sheer rock that have these energetic purposes that have mysteries to unlock. Mysteries that we're going to figure out as we go along in this journey, aren't Paul?
Absolutely.
Here I am at the actual doorway of the Haldi door, climbed up this vertical cliff to get up here, this spectacular mountain location. And I wanted to just talk about a couple other things. Notice the levels of the door. You get that concept of 3 with a completion. The same concept we get from the ascension pillars, from the Kef rocks relief, this constant triptych notion of these 3 aspects of us to unlock this higher state. And of course, the doorway has the same concept. This divine gateway, a divine gateway of knowledge and higher knowledge coming from another place, other realms of reality. And so this is an incredibly powerful place to stand, with ancient cuneiform in the wall, eroded over the course of over 20,000 years. Imagine constructing this doorway. How would you even carve some of these edges? Some of the upper edges, you can see the original cuts are still beautifully intact in this ledge. But what tools did they use to create this? When did they create this? And ultimately, what was its purpose? We're going to find out. Amazing. The smoothness and the cuts are just incredible. Look at the work that went into this. It's just extremely good craftsmanship to cut this. Just add a sheer rock and then polish it to this degree.